I know it sounds a little crazy, right? Like the most popular side hustle, if we look at the numbers, if I asked you right now, actually comment down below, what is the main side hustle that you're doing right now in the gig economy? Bet it's going to be this one. Looking at the numbers, millions of drivers driving for this app. The drivers that I meet in person, I ask what they're doing. It's this one. It's DoorDash, right? It's driving for DoorDash as a dasher. But in this video, I got 5 reasons why you might want to quit because no one else is going to tell you. Number 1, obviously, as we always say here, if you're not hitting the basic metrics of side hustle success, it's not worth it, right? So $1.75 paid out per mile and $25 per hour. Why? Because there's expenses with operating your vehicle with these apps. So if there's not a lot of margin there, you should quit. But let me take it a step further. How long do you think you'd have to drive for? Looking at your numbers, and actually you should be tracking your numbers. We have a spreadsheet available for you. It's price smart, so you don't got to spend a ton of money on it. It's linked down below. But how long do you think you need to drive for to understand, okay, it's not worth it at this point? If you're driving for DoorDash, a week's not going to tell you anything. I think 2 weeks, 3, 4 weeks, which is like a month there, I still don't think that's long enough. I really think you need to drive for about 6 weeks, let's say a month and a half, to really start to understand your numbers. And obviously it's going to depend on how much you drive, right? If you drive like 1 day a week, and interestingly, actually, I just thought of this. Comment down below, how long do you drive? Like how many hours do you allocate per week? Because even DoorDash says most dashers are dashing like 5 hours a week, which is fine. I mean, this is a side hustle thing. So I would look at your numbers on that spreadsheet and I would see in my market, how's the average bonus pay? What's the average tip? How are my customers behaving? And how much am I making per hour? What is my average pay per hour? Again, that's why that spreadsheet's super powerful. And then you can actually see some trend analysis after about 6 weeks. Number 2, 100%. I feel like this is a solid. Like you should quit driving for DoorDash if you're relying on time earnings mode and minimum guarantees. Look, the bonus pay. I say it time and time again, the bonus pay is what's going to make you the most money possible on any of these apps, folks. Base pay, promotional pay, and then tips. That big chunk comes from that promotional pay. So if you're relying on the hourly guarantee on DoorDash, here in Pittsburgh, it's $12.25 an hour. Comment down below what your average is for time earnings mode. That is the minimum. That's like DoorDash paying as little as they really need to make it viable, $12.25 an hour. It's not really worth it. Are there other things you could be doing to make more money? And, or if you find yourself sitting like 10, especially 15 minutes in between requests, and I don't think that's talked about enough, you should ideally be, getting requests instantaneously, as in I decline and I get another request. Even a minute's fine. Even like 3 minutes is pretty decent. Lunch rush, breakfast, maybe it's not as busy. But if you're sitting around for, again, 10 to 15 minutes in between requests, then you might want to quit. And number 3, I kind of alluded to this, but there's better money on different apps. Listen, there's a lot of apps out there. I understand that DoorDash is like the biggest, huge, like 60% market share in the food delivery space. And I agree that food delivery is attractive because it's like generally safe, no passengers, and I really feel like it's less labor intensive than other apps. So Shipt and Instacart, I got to go in the grocery store. I got to navigate, there's customers there. It's going to take a long time navigating my buggy, right? And package delivery with, let's say, Amazon Flex. Got to go to the warehouse. I have no idea where I'm going until I get to the warehouse and I scan that QR code. Then I could have, I'm going to have, it's not even a question, 30, 40, 50, 60 stops during my shift. And then there's Walmart Spark, which I initially really liked doing here in Pittsburgh. Comment down below what you think about Spark. But you go to the Walmart, the Sam's Club, you pick up the stuff. You don't got to shop for it if you're doing a certain kind of run, which is nice. Associates load it into your vehicle, but I've had the problem of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting at the pickup spots. Conversely, if you're not making a lot of money on DoorDash, you have to look at some other side hustles, because there could be good money. And there's actually data. Check it out. There's data that says different cities have just a different market share of these apps. Uber Eats could have a bigger market share, or at least a sizable market share versus DoorDash. And actually that rolls into point number 4, that you might want to quit, and I don't think anyone's really telling you this, and I want to tell you this here, that, by the way, before I do that, can you drop a like on this video? Consider subscribing, because this next one is going to be a bomb here. You should quit if you've hit your earnings goals. Now, I've polled you, our team members here, and I asked you why you're side hustling. And in fact, when I first started side hustling in October of 2015, I was sitting around, I'm here in Pittsburgh, and if I went out, I'm spending money. I'm certainly not making money. And then if I didn't go out, I'm sitting at home and I'm not really doing anything. So I wanted to make some extra money and be in charge of some of my money. I want you, and I want this for myself as well. This is where we're going here on the channel in 2023 and beyond, is I want you to make as much money as possible. And you don't have control on these side hustle gig apps. Now, it's cool. I like doing it. It's fun. It's a cool side hustle, right? Because that's how it's marketed, the gig economy. But if we want to build wealth in 2023 and beyond, you can build up some capital, some liquidity from these apps, but then I would transition to something you have more control over. Owning assets, building out your investing portfolio, starting that business, a product, course, or service, starting a YouTube channel, or just social media, which I think is a massive opportunity right now to monetize across socials as well, because you have more top line control there. Let's say the product, product, course, or service. I have my website. I'm looking to do more with actual physical products in the future as well. But then I have control of the product, the pricing, the margin, even the sourcing, if it's a physical product, the quality of it, the logistics of it, and then finding your clients, nurturing the client base, the advertising, all of that. And I know it's a lot. I know it's like a big step from doing a side hustle app where you go online or you schedule and you do food delivery. And I've always said, I just want you to hit your number. If you want to make 5K extra, 3K extra, or if you want to hit a certain yearly number, 30, 40, 60, 80K a year, I just want you to hit your number. I mean, whatever the number is for you, because I want you to be happy with that target, but I also want to challenge you a bit as well. And number 5, which I feel like sounds kind of funny, but it is true. If you hate this stuff, if you're not having the least bit of fun, you should quit. And believe me, when I've done this stuff, it was 2018, I think, when I got fired from a job, and then I lost another job a couple of years after that for different reasons. The first company just went under. But when that company went under, I did this stuff full time. So if you're watching this video, like, dude, I'm doing this stuff full time because I have to make ends meet. I have to, whatever, the bills, the credit card debt, and I don't have any options, then I've been there. Extending from that, if you're doing this in, let's say, the pool that is, you have some discretionary income. You are truly doing this as a side hustle because you have a 9-to-5, traditional job is bringing in some money. If you hate doing Walmart shipped Instacart, or DoorDash in this case, then again, it goes back to looking for something else that makes you happy. If you don't want to do food delivery, if you're out here grinding, you're on the road, you're dealing with the weather, you're having to deal with customers and restaurant problems, etc., then look at these other options that we're going to talk about here on the channel. So there's a lot of reasons, everything from operationally, do the numbers make sense, to qualitatively, am I just not happy with this? And a lot in between here versus, we talked about the capital, okay, I hit my goal for, X amount of dollars, then moving that into the control of taking charge of your income that you have more control over some of these gig apps. So yes, let me know your goals and how our content has helped you reach some of your financial goals, but also, what are your future goals for your money? What's the next step? Or is this something, you want to do for a while? Do you want to do DoorDash for 10, 15 years? Or are you building the capital for something else? Or are you just simply interested in kind of next level wealth and income generation? I really want to know that. Comment down below. Drop a like if you got value in this video. You can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.